directly facing each other, and you're going to do a full run, half and half. I want you to pick one or multiple people to sing to. If there are bits that feel like they don't quite lock, that's fine. Just keep going and make sure that you're feeling it, because again, we've got the issue of doing too much following and not actually feeling where it's going. Yes, sir.
The final word
Yes.
is different. And I find it very hard to hear the difference. Grow, not go. Is there a simple way you can understand?
Oh, yeah, why do we arrange it so to make sense? Micro-tank. Yeah, I just linger a little bit singing through your arm. Yeah, yeah. It's not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to be the end of the world if they can't hear that, because it's just a lyric that Joey and I made up. But yes, very good point, so that we don't just head straight to the vowel. Very nice. Right. Let's just go from the beginning. Now, I'm not suggesting that this is how we're going to be performing it, but this is an exercise just so that we can learn again that sense of trusting ourselves and trusting other on the riser, that you know the plan for this chart. All right, from the beginning.
We sat about tone, so is there anything special we can do to
Not do that. Say that again.
Is there anything special we can do to keep it up? Because we sat about tone.
Yes, I mean, I would quite like to run it a semitone up, but I think that the baritone may kill me if I do that again. Yeah, so again, the same rationale as the other one, although I suspect you're actually going to end up a semitone up if you don't stop me now. For this one, we're just going to sing it up a semitone, just so we can lose muscle memory for dropping. Yeah, so we might not end up picking this key, but yes, let's try a run in this key. Make sure you perform to one or multiple people on the other side. I'll only stop you if it gets dire.
I've always got to make you always drag at the beginning. I need you to keep it going there, okay? Keep it going at the beginning.
So rather than thinking that, I want you to think about the words that you are saying to the person or persons that you end up singing to. Because one of the reasons it's dragging is because we're singing note to note.
Yes.
Rather than we're singing with meaning. Alright? So whenever you get distracted by, a sync thing or a note thing, that's okay. Put that aside. Go back to telling a story to somebody in front of you.
Love will come along.
Yeah.
It's not love will come along, okay? Love will come along.
So, Kerry, before this first one, it's worthwhile just giving them a really clear exhale, and before just so that everybody knows where the onset is. much more freely sung. You were so much more emotionally sung. I believed you. There was also a lot of lovely interaction between you that I think, if you look back at the video, you can use to inform some of your staging plan for this. A lot of lovely interactions in terms of looking across the crowded room. Really,
Very crowded.
really very nice to create some of that contrast that we want in this piece. That was a lot more vocally free, a lot more interesting, and the moments of tenderness had a lot more believability. Did it feel that way to you? Absolutely. Yeah, so that was the biggest difference by far, I'd say. But the first time, the song was singing you a little bit. The breaths were a function of singing the next phrase. Whereas that time, the breaths were emotional breaths.
Was that one the normal tone, or were we up?
No, we were doing the time.
It by the end, but we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started up the same. Yeah.
Is that the
Yes. I think just take it over. Take it over. Yeah. Now, one of the things you will have noticed, and yes, it's also a function of not having direction. And I think I spoke about this last time I was here with you. There are lots of S's in this.
Yes.
Some Enchanted Evening. Someone may be laughing. I'm still hearing a little bit too much consonant emphasis. Now, we're like in Don't Stop Me Now, we still want enough of the consonant because it helps as a rhythmic drive. In a ballad, consonants are the enemy. We only need enough for people to hear the lyric. That's enough. You need very little S in particular. The harsh sibilants. You need very little of them to be heard at the front. So I would just bear this in mind because you've got a lot of S's, particularly at tender moments here, and we're getting a fair few slithering snakes at those moments in time. And that's not just a director sync issue in terms of needing something up front, it's also just lingering a little too long on those consonants. We just need to maximise vowel time. Can we go from the back end? Because I'm hearing restraint. I'm hearing restraint in the section of the song for the key change, which is really the moment of absolute release into the love of this person and the feeling of sort of submitting to this relationship, this feeling, this experience. What I'm hearing is instead a little bit of trepidation. And are we near the end of the song yet?
This is not where the words change.
Yes.
Nervous, the flight of your soul.
Yes, so if you get a note wrong, if you sing the wrong bit, if you sing the wrong word, I don't care. Because I don't want the it's affecting the sound. And we really need this back end, particularly because this terrible arranger who's revoiced it for years, and they're really spaced, and so with spaced chords, it's different to what we normally have in barbershop, which is very tight voicings, particularly between lead and Barry. This particular voicing that I've given you post the key change is more choral. It's more spread. In order to get the barbershop feel, we need to make sure that we're maximising resonance. And that's not just up to basses for everyone to sing into their overtones, it's up to everybody. And tenors, I'm going to give you permission to go full, free, soaring, sweeping, because I can hear you holding back. I'm not talking full operatic vibrato, but short of vibrato, I'm very happy for you to really sing out there. I think so frequently as tenors we're told to be quiet, but absolutely not in general, and particularly not in this moment. You've got a really critical part in relation to that sort of lovely melodic line over the top. So, where's the best spot to go from?
key change yourself?
I really just want to get into the transition of that release though. So let's go a little bit further back. You can explain it in two lines.
At the key change, we also drop into structure. We drop into a fixed rhythm.
Yes.
And so we're looking around for Kerry to fix the rhythm.
Yes.
So she has a particular rhythm she wants to
But you'll notice that other than towards the tag where it was
It makes sense. I found that. The hard way.
other than the tag which is true barto, that first bit, you all felt that groove, Some Enchanted Evening, like it became a little bit of a march. We want that feel again without needing to rely on Kerry.
At the end, it'll be my
It's very unhappy, isn't it? So that Some Enchanted Evening, we want, other than the leads, the other parts to have that sense of some enchanted, like you're on a journey now, which is a different feel to everything else. So use that. Give yourself permission to sink into the space. We're not looking at a 9 out of 10 dynamic. We're just looking at power and command now as part of this vocal release. And it starts on never try, oh, some. That's where we really need to have that sense of openness. Does that make sense to everybody? Vocally and in terms of the approach. So, who can explain it? I'll tell you why. Upper semi from,
Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Some enchanted.
sorry, stop there. I'll just need you at the front for that bit into the transition. We're dropping a little bit. Barry's on the never try. Even though it's a big interval, we need to make sure we're really lifted on the never try. Let's just do a pitch reset. Back to who can explain it. Can we just land the first chord? Just who? Everyone know where we are? Yep.
Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never
Sorry, Karen, we're in a different spot. Sorry, we're singing in a different spot. We're singing the right one.
Who is Barry Train? The whole
No,
section.
Barry.
Just Barry's.
We don't want the right one.
Okay, that's all right.
Just while we're paused, tenors, that consistency we spoke about in Don't Stop Me Now, that consistent intensity of presence, even where it's a little lower in your range, I need that through the who can explain it, because we're currently missing tenor and tenor.
The right notes, we all over the place.
Oh, there you go. Well, then that will solve that. That's it. We can just play a starting chord if that's easiest. So, for tenors, please. Happy?
Can you do those again?
Who can explain it?
Getting into the note also.
Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Oh, some enchanted evening, find your true love. When you feel it more, you across a crowded room.
Excellent. Everyone, the tenors just put you to shame. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah. So that constant flowing sound. So, and shorthand, I'm going to say operatic. Now, by that I don't mean I just mean that constant that sort of feeling of soaring, sweeping. Tenors did that beautifully. I want everyone to meet the challenge that they have just presented to you. Can I just also highlight? Fools give you reasons, not reasons. At the moment, we're losing a lot of opportunity in those vowels.
Say that again, please.
Fools give you reasons. The S's are tiny. At the moment, I'm hearing fools give you reasons, and we're missing a lot of target vowel. And it's a pretty critical moment because it's really restrained. All right, I'll give you that chord again on who can explain it. Actually, before I do that, talk amongst yourself. So I cut that second one. So do you know what I mean by that? So we just hit two, dream all alone, alone, and we've also sustained your N at the beginning of the at the end of the intro. On this could be the one. It's using it too many times. You can probably get away with two. So I would this could be the one, the intro, and then alone, alone. And just a little linger so that it's different on each occasion. Because if you overuse the same device, it just sounds mechanical. Yeah. That was sounding lovely and free. Was it feel? Yes. Leads, you did a great job of rising to meet the challenge that the tenors had set for you. It was great. I was going to say to the leads earlier that I wasn't getting quite enough melody in the sound, but you corrected on that occasion by just letting go, by releasing. It's not a volume issue. It's just a presence and intensity issue. Is everyone feeling comfortable in that section? It's feeling fine in terms of test track? Excellent. Let's take it up another semitone. You shouldn't have said yes.
It's really nice.
Yes.
It's really nice.
We're just going to do the back end now, so it's early. We want to put that. Yes.
It's so amazing.
Oh, the rhythm there. Yeah, I'll keep an eye
So
on it.
amazing how you're telling the story much more than you've ever had. So just keep doing that, really good. It's good that I'm not out here. I feel like sometimes you might feel more mechanical when you're not performing the stuff that you're performing to me, but you seem to be much better when you're actually performing to people. So
Born to perform.
so can we just keep that up? Right. And I think it's a natural thing for this chorus. I think it's because you're also very experienced that you're just used to doing these competition things, you know? So
I think you get immediate feedback from the other people who respond to it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's great, Greg. Thank you.
Before we do another run, Greg, can I just hands up tenors? Could I please get all the tenors to be spaced across the back row? Okay.
You've heard that.
Oh, in whatever way is safe. I just can't ask for it.
Don't touch you, Joy. We don't want you feeling bad.
Joy, is that triggering? Because we can center is in the front is also fine. Sure, yeah. At the moment, tenor's just sticking out and you're singing it beautifully. I just want it to be more incorporated as sound. This is where we usually place it for this reason. Let's go from the same spot again. Has everyone got windows with me having moved it? Yeah. Okay. From who can explain it? Oh, I did say that, and I forgot. allowed you that opportunity for that release, particularly leads and tenors. Now that feeling of release that you got through needing to just produce that upper range well, we want to sustain that feeling of that unlock. We're going to go back down to semitone now, so we're a semitone up from written key. You enjoying this pitch go? I'll give you the nose chord.
Barefacedly turns up tenor.
Who can explain? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Oh, some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel it for you across a crowded room, then fly to their side and make them your own. For all through your life you may dream all
Excellent. I'm liking that key. So this is going to be another one to next rehearsal. Play around with different keys when you start, just so that we get out of that muscle memory of pitch drop. I think that would be quite helpful. Plus, we're getting a level of lift and release in that. It was a little muddy in the other keys. I know we dropped a little, but we need to make sure that we're pitching it in a place that we've got adequate lock and ring. Nothing to do with your vocal production. It's just that certain chords down are always going to sound muddier, particularly for the poor basses who are graveling it when it's in the lower key. How's that feeling for everyone?
I'm just sorry if I'm sitting out too much.
Not at all. That's brilliant. I could hear before the tendency to want to hold back, and I could hear the catch in the sound. Whereas now, particularly with the tenors positioned where you are, it's now a lot more balanced within the sound.
Can you just play the lead and notes? Because I'm not sure that
Sorry, which?
One to this side and make
We
it
need
your.
to clarify what that note is.
Oh.
Because I think some people.
I'm just going to do it in the original key, if that's right. Whoa. Yes, it's counterintuitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what I did on the track, so that probably didn't help you. Yeah, so ignore the learning track. Let's do that. Yeah.
It's correct on the learning track.
Is it? Oh, good.
Can you play that again?
I'm so glad. All right. Yeah. Yeah. It is counterintuitive. Yeah.
Do you want to do that a couple of times?
It's a high harmony and.
Let's do it.
Lead to everybody.
Just leave it. Come on, Lee, let's do it because you are already.
From Some Enchanted.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Some enchanted evening.
Sorry, do you have
Yeah, we'll go off the semitone, and this is post the key change, the final chorus.
Some enchanted
Sorry, we're not on one there, so we'll Some Enchanted, so I think there might be Some Enchanted.
Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room, then fly to their side and make them your own.
Yeah, very good. So, and that brings me into what I wanted to ask. So at the moment, we've got a pseudo tempo feel, but we're not locking into it. We've got to decide one way or the other. And I'd be inclined to say this back section should be tempo. Yeah. So at the moment, you know what I no, not faster. So you know what I mean by tempo, non-tempo. So we do rubato and barbershop, which is stolen time feel, where there's a vague time signature, but we don't routinely stick to pulse versus pulsed. This particular song is rubato, but I feel like the back end needs to actually be a little bit more march feel, like I said before. At the moment, you are pulling ends of phrases out so that it's pseudo rubato and then going back into tempo. It's going to be clearer if once we hit tempo, we stay in it until the tag. So what I want is, again, I'd like you to do this without Kerry so you can feel it. So it's fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Oh, some enchanted evening. And actually maintain that feel until the tag. Can I get you to do that? And actually, we're going to be doing this.
Leads will find it easy with the other parts there because they're
Absolutely. Because leads, again, like the other song, you're beholden to what the other parts are doing in terms of setting that tempo. But what I don't want is drag at the ends of phrases. So let's just go straight on the key change so that we can just get that strong feel. And actually stomp your feet if you can. From Some Enchanted. Oh, on the key change, yeah. New key. On the key change. Let's have that again. So let's stomp our feet first so we can find it and we're going to come in. So this sort of slow march. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some enchanted evening when you find
time feel, and when we've actually got that quite strong and powerful march. It's just a suggestion, but I think at the moment, because we're sort of half in, half out,
It's contrast.
well, the music judge is going to comment on the fact that it doesn't feel like it's one or the other. We've got to commit. But that way it also moves forward, because those ends of phrases feel like they're going somewhere, and I think it gives you that sense of, it's sort of that empowerment of new love and experience before the moment of... does that feel right for everybody? Let's do it again, because we are getting out of muscle memory a bit for some of those slogan ends of phrases.
It's being recorded.
All right, pitch, then we're going to start the stomp, and then we're going to come to the same last time. Right on the key change. We'll stomp, we'll do the stomp first. Yeah, we'll just get it. It's all right, Karen. Okay, thank you. So we've got this feel. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room, then fly to their side and make them your own. For all through your life you may dream all alone.
That's where it falls out of it, yeah? Now, we're going to do that again. When you have a moving section, like your true love, starry-eyed, make them your own, your own. Let's make sure that they actually feel like one phrase, one expression, rather than own your own. Now, I know that we're doing that pulse feel, but we need to still make sure that we've got a continuity of the lyric form whilst we've got the march feel. All right, so we're going to do both at once. Let's start our stomp again. Final chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room, and fly to their side and make them your own. For all through your life you may dream all alone.
Yeah, really, really nice. Now it's a different feel. How's it? Is it feeling like it's going to Yeah.
No, it's got to be driven. That's what it's about.
It would be nice in that bit where we go low, so the tenors and the barries go on beat 3 of the tone, and we've had a big row, so we're not quite sure where it is.
Yes, so that's going to need the direction up front, yeah. And so all of this is going to take a little bit of rehearsal and wrapping, particularly next rehearsal, just to see where it settles. And it may well be that it settles a couple of clicks slower in terms of the march. But the most important thing is that we've committed to the feel, whether it be rubato or tempo. And I feel like this will give you that lift that you need for the end of this song, where it starts to feel a bit draggy, that it actually, it is not just a march for march's sake, it's so that you can actually have that sort of bearing change, and that's really helping you with vocal release through there.
Can we try it once without the stomping? Just so
Absolutely, absolutely.
I was just going to say that me personally, I feel as if I'm waltzing and singing the song, you know, like the Viennese waltz or something, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. I think, yes, very, very much that sort of feeling of
That feeling of, yeah.
and the lift. So whatever helps you, something that Alex Morris uses that I find very helpful so that you have that sense of where that main pulse is, would be to do this. If you need to do that this next time, just to make sure you're internalising that pulse, do that. If you just want to give a go without any physicality, do that. We're going to do the same thing again. Maintain the beautiful work that you did there with singing through as full lyrics, all of the embellishments, like starry-eyed. That made a huge difference, and it really kept the pace going. All right, so I'll just set the time. Same spot from the final chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room, and fly to their side and make them your own. For all through your life you may dream all alone.
Yes, very nice. Did you feel the moments where it wanted to pull? It was particularly pickups, and I'm aware that there are also the moments that we were making different interpretive choices before. So you're going to need to work against the resistance of muscle memory, and also make sure that all of those pickups are in time. And I think various people have different pickups. I think that that's going to give you the momentum that you want to get at the back end. Shall we do that in context?
From going from somewhere to that.
Yes. And I want to go back earlier. Let's go from, bar 21 for those with music, some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing, yes, you may hear them laughing across a crowded room. Everyone know where we are? And I know I've given you several things to think about, but just like we were doing those embellishments towards the end, starry-eyed and your true love, we want the same feeling of triplets in this section. You may hear them laughing across a crowded room, and night after night, night after night, night after night. That feeling of this rather than night after night, and after a night as strange as it seems, rather than seems. At the moment, it's getting just a little plot in that section. It's probably a little bit of fatigue. If we consciously add lift through there, it'll provide even more reinforcement before you hit that key change, and we want even more of that release and lift. Does that make sense? So, from some enchanted evening, the laughing.
So this is just after we've seen some again. Oh, there.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love.
Some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing.
Oh, sorry.
Barries and leads coming on B2.
Some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing, yes, you may hear them laughing across a crowded room, and night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of their laughter will sing in your dreams.
I think we're all mainly there now. So we're just going to go back to that some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing.
We have the baritone note, please.
Sure.
Can we sing the O chord before instead of putting her in the rock spot?
Sure. Yeah.
Again. Oh.
It's under semitone, right? I just want to take this
We're actually on this note. We're on the tonic. We're on the tonic note.
Are we starting on some or starting on
I think
Some,
it's easier.
some.
I think it's easier to start with some. Yeah.
So you're playing the G sharp, are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Some tenor, some.
So you've got to be like the drummer who's just, regardless of what they're doing, just keeps going. Yeah. Because if we're in march, you're essentially the snare drum. So once it's set, they've got to come with you. Yeah. And they're going to need you to be really secure in that. How's that feeling? Because it's sounding a lot more engaged and animated. And that means we've got a lot more contrast in those sections between the big, open, spacious, and then the alone. Can I ask you, because you do the alone so beautifully, I want that rest to mean something. Yeah, because at the moment, yes, at the moment it's alone. Once, it feels rushed. So I think we need to linger in that rest, and that's got to be its own specific performance moment. So, alone. Once. And it's going to feel like forever on a stage. And that's okay. Because we've got to make sure that it doesn't feel like we're rushing to the next thing, because this moment is a moment of absolute tenderness, but also fear. So we've got to allow the audience to sit with us in that for just a few seconds. Alone. So you might even have to just sort of count it out in your head. Yes. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
At least 2 people are starting to clap.
But if you're all no one's going to clap, they're all going to go and not everyone else to take up to
Let's add my feeling to that moment. I'm singing alone with absolute despair in my mind. Alone. And we need a few moments to pull ourselves back from that. You know what I mean? Feel that tension and then realise once you've found it, never let it go. There's still hope. We need a few moments to pull back from it somehow. That's the way I'm feeling.
Absolutely, because you're going there, and the next phrase is a different thought, and you transition on the breath. So you're right, it just needs that moment of, yes, it is really needed to have that feeling. And you are demonstrating it so beautifully that I want you to give the audience every opportunity to sit in that space with you, because everybody's felt that before. Before you say to them, yeah, really critical moment. Let's do that again so we can do the transition, and we'll move through the tag this time. So we're going from the Some Enchanted Evening, where the leads and the barriers come in bar, being 2, and it's lapping.
We'll see.
just got
down
to
with. Now I'm hearing some breaths where I don't think there should be. So make them your own. You tell me if you've got planned breaths here, because if you do, I'm going to tell you to get rid of them. Make them your own, and all through your life you may dream or. Shall we do that again then? And if you need a personal breath, where will you not take it? Not at all. Excellent. Let's go back to on the final chorus. So, some enchanted evening. Yeah.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room and fly to their side and make them your own. Or all through your life you may dream all alone.
I heard breaths. There is no breath allowed after all. Like you may dream all alone. If you need to breathe somewhere else, you can go like you dream or like you may all. You can take out a word, a whole word, but you must not breathe in the no breath zone, because I will be in the audience and I'll go. All right, from the final chorus again.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room and fly to their side and make them your own. Or all through your life you may dream all alone. Once you have found it, never let it go. Once you have found love, never ever let go.
So, once you
We
have
can't even pretend it's like we haven't played it.
never. Yeah.
On the third one, we can't even play it.
I'm not frustrated with drums.
But we're supposed to sing this.
That was very nice.
Everybody.
Bye, Robbie.
Bye, Robbie. Good not breathing. Excellent.
Robin endorsed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Very, very good. You don't need to expire. You can take a personal breath, just not at those moments, because it just is such a critical moment to have that build. That was really lovely. Now, you can earn that performance break that Kerry is giving you after the second alone, only if you feel the way that like you mentioned before. So at the moment, I can see some people who are in story, and I can see some people who are going, Kerry's going to give me cue. There it is. All right. Cue. Right. You're only allowed that performance break if you're performing. Yep. So Lecky put it beautifully before, in terms of where you end up with that second alone and that feeling of it being almost harrowing, that isolation. And we want to get to that point, and I want to see each of you in your way experiencing that isolation in that moment before regrouping on the breath. Got it, you got it. Same spot again from the final chorus.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room and fly to their side and make them
slowing a little early at the moment, so I think the way that I feel it is once you have found love, never, 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 never let love go some enchanted. So it's almost like you've gone back into the march for a couple of bars,
Yeah.
so that everybody knows where they're at with the syncopation. So once you have found love, never, 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 never let love go some enchanted evening, let love. So you can writ from evening. I think the temptation at the moment is to read earlier, and it's again a little unclear whether it's tempo or whether it's not, so I just go back into March for 2 bars.
Can you give us a bit more as when the leads have to come in on?
On the second bit, okay. All right, I can do that. All right, I'm conscious of Emily's time.
Where are we at now?
Well, it's
Having so much fun. I don't need to hold.
I see the whole thing.
Oh.
Another 10 minutes.
I'm having just a few sections.
We're going to finish off
Get one. Yes. Now, is that making sense to everyone that we're just having a brief re-emergence of March before we slow again? Yeah? Yeah, great.
Okay, all right.
So let's go from final chorus in March. Yeah.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room, then fly to their side and make them your own. For all through your life you may dream all alone. Once you have found it, never let it go. Once you have found love, never ever let love go. So just an evening, let love grow.
Do you mind if I demo it, Kerry? This may be an abject disaster. Just so you're recording, just so you can have a look at what I've got in mind in terms of what might help at the end. See how we go. From the same spot, from Some Enchanted.
So you want us to sing them up there?
Yeah, we're doing the same thing again. I'm just going to give you slightly different direction at the end. From the final chorus. 3 and 4 and.
Some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room, then fly to their side and make them your own. For all through your life you may dream all alone. Once you have found it, never let it go. Once you have found love,
So that fast. Never, ever, ever, ever. So faster than you're used to. So it'll be downbeat for the 4, okay? Let's try that again, same spot.
You want to stay away?
Oh, sorry.
If you stand up beside them.
We need to look it up. Yeah.
Thanks for letting me say, Gary, I just want to see this one.
Oh, please,
Same spot. 3 and 4 and.
some enchanted evening when you find your true love, when you feel them call you across a crowded room, then fly
able to get them there. So then
Not
it doesn't,
necessarily this, a bit more like that.
yeah, or whatever works for you.
Okay.
But it's got to have that firm feel so that we know exactly where those downbeats are, where the beats are. I know it's quite different to how you're taking it at the moment, but I feel like we'll give it that little surge of energy at the end, and then you can really luxuriate in the final bit of the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Something like that next time? Excellent. Thank you very much for letting me play. Practice the other end.
Well, you know
Can we
what?
sing that one through once?
One, so we can
Just
record.
one through, one through. Thank you.
You must be smiling.